Welcome back to Yev's Builds, and today we're starting work on the V10 M3 shell. Yeah, we'll start work on it. Let's go. While a whole bunch of work was recently done on the M3, the subframe, the rod bearings, the diff rebuild, slowly I've been kind of buying some parts for the shell that I didn't even have at the moment. I just bought them just in case I do buy a naked and bare shell. To my surprise, all the parts that I bought I actually really need. One of these parts is an entire dash. George, shout out to you for the hookup. Appreciate you, man. Seriously, this is dope. Got a whole dash for it, got the airbags for it, got a few side airbags for it. We're gonna be installing those today, just real quick and simple. I also bought a clutch pedal assembly. There's this entire unit. This is gonna be kind of a mess, but I'm excited to install this because if you don't know, the shell that I did buy, it was an SMG, and I still have the SMG lever in there, so there's obviously no third pedal. And for the transmission that I have, which is a 6-speed for the V10, I'm gonna need a clutch pedal, so luckily I bought that a little while back. But one of the most exciting pieces of this entire thing is this front subframe. You might be looking at this thinking, dude, it's in kind of rough shape. This is just surface rust, no worries. We're gonna clean this up once the engine is sitting in. I just wanted to say a big thank you to John. Shout out to you, John, man. I really appreciate for you reaching out to me. John reached out to me via Instagram. He said that he's been doing the exact same sort of swap, E46 with the V10. Once he stuck the V10 in and made it work with this front subframe, he actually changed directions with the build and decided to go with an LS, and that thing is just gonna be mental, dude. I'm stoked to see it, but huge thank you to you because you've made my life easier. For those wondering, the OEM M3 front subframe is not gonna work with this V10, obviously. It's not gonna work. The oil pan sits much lower. There's a bunch of things you gotta do. There's a few ways you could go around this. Either modify the front subframe, modify the oil pan, or modify both depending on what you need to do. If you modify the front subframe to this extent like you see here, there's more work I gotta do with the headers, but my plan with the headers is to make them full custom, just to my liking. It's gonna be more expensive, it's gonna be more time consuming, but I'm pumped and it's just gonna be my build, you know what I mean? So the cool thing about this is most of the work is already done. All these cutouts and everything we're gonna be fixing once I'm gonna fit this into the engine bay, and once I'm gonna seat this V10 in there and I know that everything's sitting where I want it to be. We'll take everything out, obviously, because I'm gonna be repainting the engine bay anyway. I'm gonna pull this out, I'm gonna clean up this. We're gonna weld on more pieces right here to cover up all this, just so it'd be actually more sturdy and more strong. And then we're gonna powder coat this entire thing just so it'd be nice and pretty and get rid of all the surface rust. But that's that. John actually hooked me up with these front engine mounts as well, these bushings. Just wanted to say I've been really fortunate to meet a lot of you guys through the internet, and it's been super tight and super helpful. So thank you to all watching, and thank you to all supporting this. It's exciting, and I honestly never expected this to go as far as it is now, so that's awesome. So appreciate you guys, but more parts that I got are outside. So this is also what I got. Shout out to M Parts Online. You guys killing it. Fast delivery, great pricing. Dude, this entire rear end, if you do not know, this shell has absolutely no rear end. There's no subframe, control arms, there's no diff, nothing. So I bought this entire rear end assembly for $1,000 plus about $400 worth of shipping from Jersey, and I'm in Portland, Oregon, so that is not bad at all. This entire piece we're not going to be needing too much of. Obviously I'm keeping the diff, but I'm going to be putting a different LSD in there, different ratio and everything. I'm going to beef it up, we're going to reinforce this, we're going to clean it up just like we did on my daily M3. For now, the main purpose with this shell is to make it a roller, so I'm going to put this on today. We're going to put some janky wheels on it for the time being, just so I could at least put it into the garage instead of this thing, because this thing needs an alternator right now. We'll be doing that later. Fortunately, I never got rid of any of my suspension components off my daily M3, so I still have the stock springs, the stock struts, and all that. I'll be installing that just for the time being. So if you have any knuckles, front knuckles that you want to sell, hit me up, reach out to me. With all that being said, let's install what we can today. Let's go. Okay, so this is all a little bit interesting because this clutch pedal came in completely disassembled, and I'm just kind of guessing to what really makes sense here, okay? So this spring, I will show you. I'm pretty sure it goes right here. I'm pretty sure, but once it's in there, I'm actually gonna show you what my thought process is. This, obviously, fluid goes through it. There's some ports here, there's a connection here. That only makes sense for it to go right here. You see that? And you see how there should be some sort of pin that holds it in? There's a flat spot over it. I found this. This makes sense. So we will stick that in just like that. The clutch pedal is in. These lines I still need to figure out where they go, this one particularly. I know this one connects to the bell housing, so that's fine. I'll cross this bridge when we get to it, but for now, the pedal is definitely in. This is quite simple. There's the hydraulic unit right here. That bolts on right there to two existing poles. This spring, I'm assuming, goes here. I'm not entirely sure. That's the only logical sense. The actual pedal itself slips right into there, and there's a little clip in there. You clip it in, and that is done. Right there, there's that little clip. Clutch pedal is in. Nice. These taillights are from my original black one, the black M3 that I still have. That's my daily. If you don't know, I have amber ones. These are gonna be perfect for this right now. Because this is an 02 M3 and my black one is an 06, this is gonna have a facelift taillight, which means I'm gonna have to get adapters for these connectors because they are different. But for now, I'll just put these on. By the way, I just noticed, if you thought we're not going to be doing this already, you're completely wrong. But of course we're going to be rebuilding this entire subframe as well and replace these bushings. But look at this thing, look at that. It's touching the body right there and it's not touching it there. This bushing is shot, dude. Oh man, yeah, we're gonna need some work on this, but I'm excited, dude. And you know what? I think I'm gonna end the video right here. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Clearly, this is a bare shell. We only put the rear subframe on, you know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of work to do. Honestly, again, didn't think it would ever come this far. So the fact that as many of you are stoked about this just as I am, that's awesome. So if you are one of those stoked people, hit that subscribe button and that like button, because that algorithm stuff really does some magic and it's crazy. So that's gonna do it for this one. Appreciate you guys. Peace.